everybody. Welcome to another edition of Tips and Tricks with Anglers Covey. I'm joined today by our head guide, Greg Blessing. We're just going to give you a little bit of a kind of a fishing report / fall forecast and just talk about a couple things. So I know you guys have all been at it full bore still, so I'll just turn it over to Greg and he'll just give you a little intel here.
Well, I think this time of year, you have to think out of the box a little bit, depending on where you're going. The Deckers area, Cheeseman Deckers area, the water's nice and cool. It's 51 degrees. Best fishing for sure, I think, in the area right now. A lot of stuff is little midges is what I'm using a lot, size 24 Black Beauty and such things like that. It's always that way this time of year. They stop hitting that big stuff and start slurping on the little stuff because there's so much of it. 11 Mile Canyon, they dropped the flow, I noticed, to about in the low 50s. Anytime I'm in there in the low 50s, I want to, the flow at low 50s, I want to go up and fish in the waterfalls and even those lower waterfalls down in the bait area. When you first come into the 11 Mile Canyon, is a great place to fish. Not many people want to make that trek into those falls. There's some good fish in there. Pulled quite a few 20 inchers out of there in the past, so that's a good place to go check. Any of those waterfalls, you're not going to be dealing with the pressures. Those fish haven't been fished to almost all year because the water's too high to get to them.
That's a really good point. The theme of this season has definitely been water temperatures and flows, and obviously we're not going to probably get too much more water before winter time and stuff like that. So we're still being really conscious of the temperatures in the rivers, and I think when they drop the flows to 50 or something, you really need to look at that.
Yeah.
Up in South Park it's the same way. The Middle Fork is low and hot. The Dream Stream is low and hot. So there might be some other options. The stillwater fishing is picking up again too, so then again, we always talk about stillwater. There's a golden opportunity there. High lakes, you're about done with those, so if you have that aspiration to get into the high country, you better do it soon because it's freezing.
Yes. Yes, and you know what, John, that's a great note on that is the water temperatures are definitely coming down, so that's telling the trout, hey, it's time to eat. The angle of the sun is telling those trout time to put the food bag on, let's eat, because pretty soon there's not going to be much. So they definitely get a little more aggressive in the fall and chase streamers, bigger items as far as what they have to chase. Now as far as floating big nymphs down there, I don't know about that one. Even the San Juan worm hasn't been as good since they dropped the flows. Still picking up a few on that, but most of the stuff has been small, very small stuff. If I was going fishing personally, I'd go hit the small streams while you can. I mean, there's some great fishing going on there, some great hoppers and stuff like that. Any of our small streams, not enough gets fished. The wife and I want to go over and fish Cochetoba and stuff like that in the fall. It's always really good. There's a lot of streams to go fish right now, and you know what? Most people are kind of getting off the streams. They're thinking more of hunting now, so it's a good time to go fishing for sure.
Yeah, and I've noticed it's been way less busy pretty much everywhere.
Even on the weekends.
Yeah, after Labor Day hits, it definitely, you can tell it's a big drop off in folks on the river. So it's a really good time to be out there right now. I start getting a lot of questions this time of year on streamers, and just as a general overview, we don't need really specific patterns or anything, but what are some of the colors you like to focus on in the fall?
I do the one that's called the South Platte Special. Basically, it's a brown and yellow.
Brown and yellow.
Yeah, it's definitely to represent the little small brown trout that are swimming around out there, and you know what? Any size brown trout will eat anything it can get in its mouth, so that's a good one to go target. I also use a lot of leeches this time of year, dead drifting leeches and stuff, because it's another bigger food item, and that stuff moves around a little bit. I would target that kind of stuff, and then, like I said, go with small stuff.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks, Greg. Thanks for giving us a little bit of intel here. And as always, if you guys out there have anything specifically you questions you have that you want answered, any of our guides can help answer, we'd be happy to do that for you. So just drop us a direct message or an email, something like that. We'd be happy to take care of you. The frequency of these tips and tricks is going to increase a little bit more. We got lots of stuff lined up for this winter in tying, and a lot of stuff probably with Greg in tying, because he is a master fly tyer. But until next time, we'll see ya. Tie lines.